Well, Rami Khouri is a senior fellow at the Issam Fares Institute for Public Policy at the American University of Beirut, from where he joins us. Thank you for talking to us. The inauguration speech was almost devoid of an international perspective, wasn't it? But from what he did mention, what can we glean about the Trump doctrine?
Well, not very much, really, but there's a lot of hints that have been coming out in his tweets and his statements and in some of his appointments over the past, really over the past years in the campaign and since winning the election. So there are hints about what he wants to do: move the embassy to Jerusalem, be a strong friend of Israel, work with Russia, redo the Iran agreement, have the Gulf Arabs and others pay more for their own security that they want from the U.S. These are all statements that have been made without any real political context, because he was a candidate and he was acting in the mode of an entertainer as well as a serious candidate. He won the election. Now there's a new world reality, which is, as president, he has to actually make decisions based on reconciling different forces within his Republican Party, within the United States, and with his allies around the world, and with others who will confront him around the world. In the Middle East, we have no clear idea of what he's going to do, but he did specifically talk about moving the embassy to Jerusalem. He invited settlers, Israeli settlers, to attend the inauguration. His son-in-law, Jared Kushner, his family has a foundation that has given money to Israeli settlements. So these are signs that are not very welcome by a lot of people, especially people who respect international law, which says the Israeli settlements are illegal. But that's one area where he's going to have to make some quick decisions. The Iran deal is another one. And the way Trump actually implements policy is going to depend also on other factors. What do Putin and Russia do? The Turks, the Iranian government, the Arab governments themselves. So the stage is set for getting some clarity on a series of critical issues in the Middle East on which we've had mainly emotional slogans from the Trump side so far.
Rami, can I just put to you one particular phrase that he made mention of in the speech, and that is he'd form new alliances to unite the civilized world against what he described as radical Islamic terrorism, which he said we will eradicate completely from the face of the earth. How does he intend doing that?
Well, I don't think he knows, and I don't think anybody knows, but his direction in this is very clear. He's using it as a way to promote some of his anti-immigration policies, as well as to address some of the fears that have been exaggerated in the United States because of terror attacks. The U.S. actually has been the least affected by terrorism after 9/11, that is. So he has made this about the only specific foreign policy issue that he mentioned in his inauguration speech, which is interesting. But it's not really a foreign policy issue. It's more catering or pandering to domestic Islamophobes and xenophobes and white nationalists and racists and other people who have supported him, as well as other Americans who are not part of these groups, but who also supported him for different reasons. So he now has to translate those slogans into actual policies. Most of the world wants to, all the world wants to fight any kind of terrorism, whether it's Islamic or white supremacist.
All right, Rami. I'm sorry, I have to jump in there.
Else.
I have to jump in there. Sorry, our time is short today, but thank you very much indeed. Good to hear your thoughts.